Strategy gaming is a graveyard of wasted time. Most games promise depth but deliver only busy work. If you're looking for titles that truly demand your brainpower and offer endless replayability, this is your list. We aren't ranking by hype. We're ranking by the sheer quality of the strategic experience in 2026. Total War Rome defined the genre for a generation, and the remastered edition keeps that fire burning. Yes, the UI is dense, borderline archaic, but that complexity is the point. You aren't just moving units, you're managing the logistics of a sprawling empire. In 2026, the modding community has turned this engine into a sandbox of historical perfection. It's not a game you play for a quick match, it's a game you inhabit. If you can push past the initial hurdle of the management menus, the satisfaction of seeing your legions march across a modernized 4K map is unmatched. It's pure, unapologetic historical simulation that doesn't hold your hand. This is the gold standard for anyone who wants to feel like a true Caesar.
Units, run! Units! My lord! Units! Advance! Units!
Crew had to fall back before they could destroy the radio.
We need to get up
Cover that vehicle before it falls.
Forget traditional base building. Company of Heroes 3 is about the desperate, granular fight for every meter of dirt. The destructibility is the star here. Every wall, ruin, and crater isn't just eye candy, it's a tactical decision. You're forced to think in terms of lines of sight and cover, not just unit count. While the campaign scale can feel daunting, the tactical combat is the tightest in the industry. It punishes reckless aggression and rewards those who master the tactical pause to line up the perfect ambush. If you love World War II history but crave the high-stakes intensity of modern squad-based movement, this is your home. It's visceral, dirty, and requires constant, high-level attention to every single soldier on the field.
Present and accounted for, sir. Heading to the location.
Even with the sequels, Warhammer II remains a peak strategic experience. Why? Because of the sheer, concentrated variety. The asymmetrical factions, from the High Elves' precision to the Skaven's chaotic swarms, mean that playing one campaign feels like an entirely different genre than the next. The balance between map-painting diplomacy and high fantasy tactical battles is perfectly tuned here. You're constantly juggling the macro of empire building with the micro of hero abilities and spellcasting. In 2026, the community mods have refined this title into an almost infinite replay loop. It is the ultimate test of your ability to adapt your strategy to wildly different enemies. If you want a deep, fantastical, and relentless grand strategy, look no further. Stellaris is the only game where you can start as a benevolent space explorer and end as a galaxy-consuming crisis. It is a masterpiece of emergent narrative. You aren't just optimizing resources, you are crafting a civilization's philosophy, its genetic makeup, and its destiny. The game's 2026 iteration is a far cry from its launch. It is now a dense, interconnected web of diplomacy, espionage, and interstellar warfare. The frictions come when your expansion hits the borders of a rival empire that despises your species. That moment of realization that you are surrounded by potential threats is where the game truly clicks. It is the ultimate sandbox for the long-term planner who loves big-picture galactic politics. Don't let the anime aesthetic fool you. Underneath the surface lies a ruthless tactical RPG. What keeps you hooked is the relationship between the macro and the micro. You manage your students' growth in the monastery, which directly dictates their performance on the grid-based battlefield. This creates an emotional investment in your units that most strategy games lack. When you lose a unit, you don't just lose a chess piece. You lose a character you spent hours training and bonding with.
Professor?
This risk-reward loop makes every turn feel heavy. It's perfect for players who want deep, turn-based mechanics wrapped in a narrative that forces you to choose sides and live with the consequences of your leadership.
I will prevail.
Crusader Kings 3 isn't a war game, it's a people game. You aren't controlling a nation, you are controlling a bloodline. The primary conflict isn't the battlefield, it's your own family. Keeping your heir from becoming a total incompetent or maneuvering your genius daughter into a marriage that inherits a kingdom provides more adrenaline than any RTS battle ever could. The friction here is internal intrigue. Every decision carries the weight of a generation. In 2026, the event chains feel as deep as ever, ensuring no two rulers' lives play out the same. It is a brilliant, sometimes hilarious, sometimes heartbreaking simulation of power, betrayal, and legacy. If you want a strategy game that plays like a gripping political drama, this is it. XCOM 2 is the absolute benchmark for turn-based tactical tension. You are constantly fighting against the clock and the sunk cost fallacy. When you move your squad into the fog of war, the silence is terrifying. The game is famous for its punishing RNG, but that's the point. It forces you to become a master of risk management. You learn to make the best of a 90% chance to hit that still misses. The base building layer adds that necessary strategic pressure. Do you upgrade your armor or your research speed? It's a constant battle of trade-offs. By 2026, the mod scene has turned this into an endless tactical playground. If you want to know what true tactical grit feels like, play XCOM 2.
Our oppressors are near. Top of my rage.
Manor Lords captured the world's attention because it bridges the gap between the relaxing city builder and the brutal medieval war game. The friction here is realistic logistics. You have to manage supply lines and seasonal farming before you can even think about raising a militia. It feels grounded in a way few other games do. Watching your village grow from a few tents into a sprawling town is incredibly satisfying. But the combat is what keeps you on your toes. You aren't playing with abstract numbers. You are protecting the people you just spent hours housing and feeding. It's the perfect title for the player who wants to build something beautiful and then defend it with everything they've got.
At least, that's what she wants you to think.
You think she's hiding something?
Even in 2026, StarCraft II is the undisputed king of competitive RTS. It's the fastest, most precise, and highest skill ceiling game on this list. What maintains its dominance is the meta, the endless refinement of build orders, micromanagement techniques, and reaction times. You don't just play StarCraft, you train for it. The game is a test of your ability to maintain macro economy while executing micro, individual unit control under extreme pressure. It is pure, high-octane mental athleticism. For those who thrive on competition and want a game that rewards raw mechanical mastery, there is no other choice. It is the ultimate distillation of what a real-time strategy game can be at its absolute limit.
We are sealing off the Terrazine altar.
Armed and ready. Of course. Ciao.
Reach the Titan first with the Soul Stone. Only then can we hope.
This is the definitive way to experience the best RTS of the 40K universe. The Definitive Edition brings modern polish to the classic gameplay, fixing pathfinding and updating textures, making it look sharp even on 4K displays. The game shines because it prioritizes aggressive combat over stagnant base building. It forces you to capture points, push lines, and engage. The sheer variety of the factions, from the fanatical Space Marines to the swarm-heavy Tyranids, offers immense replayability. It's a masterclass in atmosphere and visceral, crunchy combat. Whether you're a 40K veteran or a strategy fan looking for the peak of the genre's golden age, this is without a doubt the must-play strategy experience for 2026.
Command me.
The enemy is attacking!
Under Marine squad deployed.